Hello from HW Group. In this video, we will look at the difference between sending an email alert directly from the Perseus device using an SMTP server and sending it through the portal. We will speak about two options. By option 1, we mean the using SMTP server for sending alert directly from the device. By option 2 is means sending email alert using the portal. For comparison, let's look at the process of setting up email alerts on a Perseus device and some other HW Group device, such as the ST2+. On the ST2+, you first connect the sensor to the device and configure the SMTP server. Next, you define the alarm target. The final step is to set the sensor range and assign the target in the sensor settings. And that's it. Compared to Perseus, setting up the first alert on the ST2+ is relatively simple. Now let's take a look at Perseus. The first three steps are similar to ST2+, but then there are some differences. On the Perseus device, we work with conditions created for specific sensors. So we first need to create a condition for our sensor. Once the condition is ready, we can set up an action where we assign the target and use the condition as the action trigger. It is also important, as with ST2+, to perform a test, and as you can see, this is a slightly more complicated setup procedure than ST2+. For option 1, the first step is to configure your SMTP server or obtain the necessary credentials. In this video, I will be using Gmail's public SMTP server. However, it's important to note that public SMTP servers like this are not reliable for long-term use, as security standards evolve rapidly, as shown on this timeline. Almost every 5 years there is a major update in security protocols. Each red dot represents a critical point at which you will stop receiving emails from the SMTP server without notification. Public SMTP servers are not intended for industrial use. They are designed for personal email clients like the mail app on your phone. If your company doesn't have a private SMTP server, we recommend using option 2, sending alerts via the portal. But for now, let's go through option 1. To use Gmail, you must first create an app password. This is the only way a third-party application can securely use your existing Google account. Go to your Google account management section and search for app password. You should see a result marked with a small security label. Click on it. Now you can create your app password. Just enter the name for the application where you want to use this authentication. The name isn't important, it's only for your reference to know what the password is used for. Click Create and the password will be generated automatically. Make sure to copy it, you will need it later during the setup process. Now, let's configure the settings in the Perseus device web interface. Go to the control section and then email section. For the SMTP server address, we will enter the address of the Gmail SMTP server. The port for email communication is typically 25. Next, we enable authentication. The username is your full Gmail address. And the password is the app password we generated a few moments ago. For the secure method, you can choose between Start TLS or SSL TLS based on the security method for the selected port. An automatic option may also be available. With the Gmail SMTP server and port 25, we will use the Start TLS security method. In the last line, you can enter the sender's email address. To confirm that all parameters are configured correctly, perform a test. Enter an email address to receive a test message and click the test button. You should receive a test email shortly. Here we can already see the test email. Next, we need to create a target. Go to the control section, then click on Targets tab. Finally, click on New Target button. Creating a target in Perseus is similar to creating a contact. You will need to define a name for the target, then add an email address, and optionally a phone number. You can create multiple targets and assign the ones you need later. You can also create an email template for email alerts. There is one pre-configured template that we will use in this video. On the connected meter, we want to create a condition that will serve as the core of our alert. A condition is created for a specific variable and is simply a defined range, minimum and maximum with some hysteresis. Navigate to the monitoring section and open meters. Then select the meter that measures the variable for which you want to receive an alert. Scroll down to see all the listed variables, and then select the one for which you want to create a condition. Scroll down slightly to the condition section. Click the blue plus button to add a new condition, and then click on the condition name to open the condition settings. You can name your condition and define the range along with the hysteresis. You can also assign a schedule for when the condition is active or inactive, but we won't go into detail on that now. Save the settings, and the condition is successfully created. The last step is creating the action. In the Perseus device settings, go to the control section and then to actions. Click new action to add a new one. While creating it, choose the type, in our case it's email action, and give your action a name. Then click create. At first glance, we can see what needs to be done. We need to select an email template. After clicking the field, you will see all available templates. Choose the one you want to use. Next, we assign the targets for this action. Finally, we choose the condition that will trigger the action. Select your condition, and in the condition filter settings, choose the first option, which means that the action will be triggered whenever the condition changes state. Since we have only one condition, this applies both when the state changes to alarm and when it returns to normal. Click Save, and everything should now be set up. Now let's test whether the alert is working properly. To observe the temperature of our meter, go to the Home section, where you can see all the variables from the meters. We set the maximum temperature to 25 degrees Celsius. Heat the sensor slightly. Once you see alarm high in the device web interface, you should receive an email alert containing all the information defined in the email template. Let's look on that email. The subject line will display the name of our device and indicate that the alarm was activated. In the email body we will see the variable and its value, as well as the device name and its network parameters. From the portal, you can send two types of alerts. The first is a device invalid alert, which notifies you when the device loses the power, is not accessible via connectivity, or becomes otherwise unreachable. The second type is similar to the one we configured in option 1, a sensor value alert. You define a range of values, and if the value goes outside that range, an alert is sent. For both types of alerts from the portal, you can set an alert reminder. Additionally, for sensor value alerts, you can escalate the alarm. We will talk more about that a bit later. For this configuration, we assume that your device is already added to the portal. To set up the alert, go to the Devices section in your portal, click on Perseus, and open the Actions tab. Click the Add Action button and select Email as the action type. Enter a name for the alert. Check the Enable box and select the email recipients. If this is your first time setting up an alert, you will need to create a new target list. Click Create New Target, give it a name, and enter the email addresses where alerts should be sent. Then click Save to store the target list in your account so it can be used for future configurations. For the email template, you can either use the pre-configured simple template or create your own custom template with a personalized subject and message body. In this case, we will use the predefined simple template. It's not limiting for our needs and is sufficient for this demonstration. Click Save and Test to verify that everything is configured correctly. You should receive a test email that looks like this. It includes the device name, a message indicating that the device invalid alert was activated, and an alarm ID made up of all nines showing that it's just a test. Now let's test whether the device invalid alert is working properly. To do that, power down the Perseus device and wait approximately 60 minutes. After that, the alert should be triggered. To set up this alert, you must first connect the sensor to the Perseus device. In the Perseus device settings, enable Push to Portal for the selected variable and configure the desired alert range. Once this is done, you can continue to the setup in the portal. In the portal, navigate to the devices and select your Perseus device. In the View section, scroll down to the available variables and click on the one you want to configure. Next, click Actions and then Add Action, selecting Email as the action type. Give the alert a name. For the notice, select the range you previously defined in the Perseus device web interface. For targets, you can choose a target that was defined earlier, such as the one for the device invalid alert. To have the option to exclude certain conditions, you must create a custom template. Click Create New Template and give it a name. Use the available tokens to compose the email subject and body. I prepared a template in advance that contains basic information about the device, sensors, and alarms. Set the alarm reminder period to 0 to disable it for now. The exclude section allows you to prevent the alert from triggering in specific situations. Checking exclude values device invalid ensures the alert will not be sent if the device goes offline or become otherwise unreachable. Checking exclude values sensor invalid ensures the alert will not be sent if the sensor is damaged or disconnected. By selecting both options, you ensure this alert is only triggered when the sensor's value is outside the defined range. All other situations are ignored. The simple template does not offer these exclusion options. Click Save and Test to verify that everything is configured correctly. You should receive a test email again. To test the alert functionality, cause the sensor's value to go out of range. For example, slightly heat the temperature sensor. Since you exclude device invalid and sensor invalid conditions, you should receive an email from the portal for the out of range value only. For a persistent alert, it can be useful to receive reminder notifications that the alarm is still active. This is easy to set up in the portal by editing your existing alert. Navigate to the Perseus device, go to the sensor where you defined your alert, and click Edit. Set the alarm reminder period to a value other than 0. The minimum is 30 minutes. Then click Save and Send Test. And you should receive a test email. To test this feature, you must maintain the alarm state for at least the duration you set. For example, by keeping the temperature sensor in a warmer place. The next type of configuration is alarm escalation, which involves setting up multiple ranges that trigger alerts to different targets. To configure this, start with the alert you have already defined. In edit mode, select the preset SD range as the notice for the first level and leave the target as it is. You can disable the alarm reminder by setting the alarm reminder period to 0. Save it and send test. Now, on the same sensor, create a new email action. For the notice, create a new one, give it a name, and set a higher minimum and maximum value along with hysteresis. You can also set a delay that will hold the escalation for a time before sending the next alert. After you save the notice, add a different target for this alert by creating a new target with different recipients. save the action, and send the test. To test the escalated alert, heat your temperature sensor until the value goes out of the first range to trigger an email to the first address. After a short time, heat it a little more to send the second alert to the second email address. For this escalation to work correctly, there is one important configuration tip. In the Perseus device portal settings, for that specific variable, you must set the device's own alarm range to the smallest range you use in the portal's escalation sequence. This is because the other higher ranges are processed by the portal, and the Perseus device pushes data more frequently only when it is in alarm state. If the device alarm is set to the lowest threshold, the portal will receive frequent updates as soon as the first level is breached, allowing it to react to higher temperatures without delay. That's all for today's video. Thank you for your attention.